The parsha this week is Parashat R'eih, and it begins with the sentence, Harei anochi noten lifnechem hayom bracha uklala. Behold, I put before you, I give you this day, bracha, blessing, and klala, curse. This is one of the key verses to the very important Jewish doctrine of free will. And I wanted to basically read to you passages from Maimonides, the Code of Jewish Law. There's a wonderful abridged edition for anyone interested. Here it is, Hebrew Publishing Company, Birnbaum, Maimonides Mishnah Torah. It's a 14-volume work. It's all abridged here in one edition. Definitely worthwhile having. And chapter 5 of his Laws of Personal Ethics, Hilchot Deot, he says the following in chapter 5. Free will is granted to every human being. If a man wants to follow the good path and be good, he has the power to do so. If he wants to follow the evil way and be wicked, he has the free will to do so. He then quotes Genesis 3:22, indeed, man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. Maimonides continues, that is to say that human species is unique in the world. There is no species like it in this respect, namely that using our own intelligence and reason, knows what is good and what is evil, without anyone preventing him from doing good or evil as he pleases. Then he continues in number 2, let it not occur to your mind that God decrees at the birth of a person that he shall be good or evil, a notion expressed by a foolish people. It is not so. Every human being is capable of becoming righteous like Moses or wicked, wise or foolish, merciful or cruel, cheap or generous, and so with all other traits. There is no one to compel him or decree what he is to do, no one to pull him in either direction. It is he who directs himself deliberately toward any other course he desires. God does not decree that a man shall be good or evil. In view of this, it follows that the sinner causes his own ruin. He should therefore weep and lament because of his sins and resulting evil he has brought upon himself. I'm sorry, I said this is in Hilchot Deot. It's in Hilchot Tshuva, of course, in the laws of repentance. And that's one of the reasons why this is so important to read a part of the Parsha for Parashat R'eih. We're now in the 3rd week of the 7-week cycle of comforting Haftarot leading up to Rosh Hashanah and the 10 days of repentance. He then continues in number 4. Supposing God were to decree that a person should be good or bad, or if there were anything in the very essence of a man's nature that irresistibly draws him to a particular course, or a special branch of knowledge, or special characteristics or actions, as the foolish stargazers invent in their minds. You can see what he thinks about astrology. How God could commanded us through the prophets, then do this and do that. If a man's destiny has already been decreed from birth, or his innate makeup draws him to something from which he cannot escape, this is one of my favorite lines, Uma makom haya l'chol Torah kula. What room would there be for the Torah? In other words, why would you have the Torah say do this and do that if you had no choice? It makes no sense. Do not wonder, Maimonides continues, saying, how can a man do all that he pleases and be in control of his action? Is there anything in the world that can be performed without God's authority and against his wish? So this leads us to the philosophical conundrum. If God is omnipotent, omniscient, all-knowing, how can a human being have free will? Very interesting question. Here's his answer. Know indeed that God performs everything according to his wish, even though we are in control of our actions. That's the basic principle. For example, just as the Creator willed that fire and air should ascend upward and that water and earth should descend downward, and that a sphere should revolve in a circle, so to it did he will that a human being should have freedom to act, and all of his actions should be within the human's power. Hence he is judged according to his deeds. If he has behaved well, he receives a good reward. If he has misbehaved, he is punished. And that is in the world to come. So that is Maimonides chapter 5, the laws of repentance, in his Mishnah Torah, a very key basis of the Jewish doctrine of Bechira Chavshit, of free will. It's certainly important all of the time in contemplating our actions, but especially important to contemplate in this period where we are about to enter the month of Elul, the month of Slichot, of penitential prayers leading up to the 10 days of repentance. Shalom.